we have a good group coming back, a lot of experience, and there are always several things that you want to do to improve on from the year before. And we really started out this year with challenging our guys to do a better job against stopping the run, and we didn't do that last year. The year before, we'd done a fairly good job of doing it. We gave up a lot of yardage against the run, and so that's the primary focus the first night of our meetings. We've tried to emphasize attacking and reacting and being more aggressive, and I think they've taken that challenge, at least in the practice so far. We also, when we study things that have gone wrong in the past, you want to try to simplify things so that they are playing faster. So we think we've done that, and again, that's one of our goals. So that's just a bit about the things that we've been talking about. Personnel-wise, we have 9 guys on the front 4, or 8 guys on the front 4 that have played a lot of football, and that doesn't include Tom Strobel. So there's 9. If you watch any of the Big Ten Network, if you've been watching the bowl game with Michigan and Florida, you'll see Tom out there playing nose guard. So in essence, we have 9 returning veteran players on the front line, and just some names that I know you're familiar with, but the guys that have really played the most football for us are Terrell Basham and Casey Sales, Tony Porter and Kurt Lasik, and they've played a lot of games. And then Kevin Robbins, Trent Smart, Cleon Elise, Kent Berger, they've all played too. I mean, they're considerable playing time, not just mop-up duty. And another name too is Sam Mcknight. He hasn't really played, but he's very athletic as the defensive end. And so those are guys that are competing for not only a starting position, possibly inside for sure, but just playing time. I mean, it's great to have the rotation for that front 4, and we think we have that in those guys. The linebackers, they've considerable amount of playing time. They played well. Chad Moore, Quentin Poling, Blair Brown, again, we think they're top of the line guys in our conference, and they've played well for us. Cody Grillio, he bounced back and forth last year between a linebacker and a tight end, and he's solidified himself behind Quentin, and he's doing a good job. I mean, if he'll get playing time, and Quentin will need some rest at times, and Cody Grillio has done a good job. Evan Crouch played last year. So pretty veteran group there. A name, too, that maybe you haven't heard for a couple of years is Corey Qualen, and he's bounced back and forth between safety and outside linebacker for us in 2-a-days, and we'll pencil him in at a specific spot here in the next few days. But very athletic guy that's just been hurt. He had a couple operations, and so he's done a good job for us in the practice. So the strength of our team starting out would be the front 7, and we have one defensive back that pretty much played every game and started most of them last year, and that's our boundary safety. We call him our free safety, and that's Torrin Davis. Torrin played really well last year. He's very physical and a good tackler and is smart. And so we do have one experienced guy in the secondary, and hopefully he can even elevate his game. At the other safety, and then behind Torrin is Javon Hagan, a very athletic safety who we expect big things from, that redshirted last year. Grant Cunningham has come on strong. So what might have started out as an inexperienced group, and I think the depth with those guys is going to end up being good. The field safety, or the strong safety, Kyla Nelson, who played corner a couple of years ago, we moved him to safety. played sparingly last year before he was injured, and basically took a red shirt type year. And Kylan right now is again, our field safety needs to be a real good cover guy. And he's played corner and has some corner skills. So Kylan has done a good job there so far. Bo Hardy was a running back for Coach Albin last year. I think he's the fastest guy on the team, right, Coach Albin? And he's very inexperienced and raw at that position, but he's really shown flashes out there so far with his speed and being a physical player at that position. Tyler Tupa is a young freshman that we're at least giving reps, and we'll see how that transpires. But a lot of our freshmen have shown flashes out there so far too. Corners, I'm not sure if we started a game today, we'd have to sit down and probably have a good conversation about who's going to start. But I think I heard Coach Solich mention that they're very athletic, they're very talented. There's just not a lot of playing time there, and we expect them to be ready to go by the first game. But just some names that are competing for that position: Randy Stikes, who was a receiver last year; Maine Williams, who kind of came in as a safety but has corner skills, and right now he's playing corner. He was redshirted last year. Jalen Fox played sparingly last year. London Miller, junior college transfer, and Kevin Houchins, who transferred from Louisville. So, as I said, their talent just hasn't played a lot for us. And Brad Ellis is another guy who's gone back and forth between safety and corner. And so, we'll have guys ready to play out there for the first game. And I think in the long run, those guys will play well this year for us. So that's just a little capsule of what we're trying to do in our personnel. And I will say that anything that we've asked this group to do so far, starting last January and in the spring, and carried over into practice so far, these guys will do. We just have to tell them once or ask them once to, hey, let's do it this way, and they're all in. So that's a good thing. I think the group likes football, and they're smart and athletic, and there's enough experience there to get us off to a good start.
Question, Coach. Last couple of years, you've had some first-year guys find their way onto the field on Saturdays. I know it's early in camp. Any chance some of those guys are in this class of 2016?
There's possibility. There's just so many D linemen that are up there that have played. That would probably be the more challenging position. I would say our three freshman linebackers are competing to see if they're capable of helping us, whether it's special teams or backing those older guys up. So that would be one of the positions that you could see those guys on the field.
You mentioned guys shifting over from offense to defense. Is that to add to the depth with their athleticism? What's the big thing?
Yeah, for example, Bo Hardy is, he was a running back and a very good running back. I'm speaking a little for Coach Alvin. I think that the backs are one of the strengths of our team. We have a lot of them, and they're all very good. And Bo just kind of was as good as some of them, and just you can only play so many. So we're looking for guys that can help us at another position. We were limited in the number of returners we had at the field safety, at the strong safety, and you look for tough guys that can run, and you have to be willing to move them and live with some of their mistakes until their experience, and Bo fit that bill. Randy Stikes is another guy that, with our receiver situation was down the line just a little, and then all of a sudden he's competing for a starting spot at corner. Same thing, a talented guy that has a lot of ability and speed and just inexperience.
We've got Chadmore walked on here. He's one of our local
Yeah, Chad, he's one of the leaders of our team. He loves football. He's one of those guys that I think a lot of younger guys look up to and respect. They see him working hard yet having fun, and he's played great football for us. Maybe doesn't get the publicity as say Quentin Poling or even Blair Brown, but you know, he's right up there with them in playmaking ability and importance to our football team.
Also, talk about your front line being very strong, strongest part of your defense. So, what do you see from them in terms of getting after the quarterback?
Well, we're always looking for ways to turn our front four loose, so to speak, and the one of the issues last year wasn't necessarily their pass rushing ability, but it was our maybe inability to stop the run, so there wasn't maybe as many passing down opportunities as say the week before or the year before. So our number one objective is to stop the run and then get them in predictable passing downs, and then you can do a lot of different things with the front four. But you know, we've talked about wanting more sacks. We've talked about wanting more tackles for loss. And then, again, our philosophy of attacking and reacting, hopefully, we'll let those guys really get off the ball. And maybe on some of those downs that are 50-50 downs or even first down, with our ability to attack and penetrate, you know, we should be able to get the passer and put more pressure on them than we did last year.
Coach mentioned the idea of being more aggressive. Is this something you feel like you kind of have the free range to try some new stuff that you might have held off last year?
I wouldn't say that. We have a philosophy on defense. We have schemes that we believe in. You know, when I say more aggressive, that doesn't necessarily mean more blitzing, but if that's what fits our style, then we're willing to do that. But again, we have a foundation of coverages, a foundation of fronts and blitzes, and we'll continue to utilize those. But overall, even in our base defenses, we want more aggressive, faster play.